EastEnders spoilers. Is evil Stuart Highway dead? Tina Carter finally snapped on EastEnders tonight and attacked evil Stuart Highway when he goaded her about the torment he'd inflicted on her in the past. Stuart returned to Albert Square and was searching everywhere for Tina. He walked into the cafe and told Kathy and Keanu that Tina had keyed his car. When they doubted him, Stuart insisted his story was true and eventually Keanu offered to have a look at the car in the Arches. Stuart was then forced to back up his lie and keyed the car himself. When Keanu looked at it with surprise, Stuart said that Tina had a violent streak and that she'd always had it out for him. Stuart claimed that he'd watched out of his kitchen window as she damaged the car. Meanwhile, back at the Queen Vic, Tina was delighted with the doll that Mick had bought her. She thanked Mick for not going after Stuart. Mick hesitated, clearly wanting to tell Tina about his altercation with Stuart but didn't after Tina said that Stuart's actions had hung over her for her entire life. Tina added that she never wanted to hear Stuart's name again. But Stuart was waiting outside the Queen Vic, gazing menacingly at the windows. When Tina left to pop into the laundrette, Stuart followed her. Karen was working in the laundrette but needed to pop home and convinced Tina to cover for her. Tina was horrified when Stuart walked inside the laundrette. At first he tried to play his usual mind games on her, in an effort to manipulate her into retracting her story. But Tina held firm. She was certain that Stuart was her attacker. Stuart then accused Tina of keying his car and told her that he'd told Keanu and Kathy that she'd done so. He begged her to go to Mick and tell him that Stuart was innocent, going as far to say that he missed his family. Tina scoffed at him for calling the Carters his family and left. Stuart then saw Tina's doll on the floor and savagely stamped on it. Outside on the square, Keanu gave Tina an odd look and Tina snapped at Kathy after Kathy shared what Stuart had said. A frustrated Tina went to the Arches and was shocked when she saw the damaged car. But terrifyingly, Stuart had followed Tina to the garage. The pair began arguing again and Stuart needled Tina about her mother. Tina responded by calling Stuart pathetic. Stuart picked up a tool and the argument escalated after Tina told Stuart that he'd ruined her life. Stuart began to goad Tina and taunted her about how he tied her up in his car boot. Tina snapped, seized the tool from him and hit him with it. She stood, stunned, as his lifeless body lay on the floor of the Arches. Is Stuart dead? And will anyone outside of the Carter clan believe Tina's story?